All right, we're back at this little bitty pond that's been very familiar and hasn't been much luck when we're trying to video. But I discovered something this past week that I wasn't actually targeting, but it knocked the fool out of a plastic worm. So we're gonna try to pick up as many little bluegills as possible and hopefully have a fish fry. All right, this is what we're targeting right here. People argue and say it's either a bluegill or a goggle eye. I'm gonna call it a bluegill. That joker right there, look at him, the thickness on him. That boy's fat. They're bedding up right now in this pond, and that's what I found using just a pumpkin seed little plastic worm. This is actually smaller than the other two that I caught, so we're going to put him in the cooler, and we're gonna get back after it. Good job, son. All right, number 2 for my son. I still ain't caught anything, and that little girl right there still hasn't caught anything. But he's got a nice little bass right there. He caught on his little jig. Well, it was with an 1/8 inch hook. But that might be a 1/4 inch. But yeah, he's tearing them up, and he's leaving us in the dust. Now, I'm truly slacking. My kids are outpacing me. My little girl, look what she got. Fat joker. That's going to be another one we're going to add to the frying pot tonight. We're going to try to keep on at these little bluegills or goggle eye, whatever you want to call them. Then we're going to try to catch some perch and then try to get on some bass. But either way, we're going to do our best to get on some fish so we can put them in the fryer. What do you think? All right, finally on the board. I done caught a small little bass, but finally got me one of these jokers. So we've roughly got about 7 of these right now. We're still gonna try to catch a few more. We've got a few miles we gotta feed, and hopefully we're gonna try to catch us some small bass too to add to it. And then we're gonna try to move over to the next pond and see what luck we can get from it. But I'm finally off the skunk board and onto the real board. But hey, we're going to keep going after it. All right, we didn't do so bad on the other pond. We actually racked up on quite a few. Now, this is what we ended up with. You see that whole mess right there? One stringer is kind of longer than the other. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. We got one little small bass on there mixed in with all the rest of them. They're going to be good. All right, after all those other fish that we done caught, we came back over to another pond, which is the one right here. This is our white perch pond, and we're going to try to target perch and bass. The bass in this pond is quite a bit bigger than the other pond, so hopefully we can catch some, get some little fish nuggets back there, and hopefully have a little bit more fish for dinner tonight. All right, we got the grease fired up, and I've got to say this fish has turned out a whole lot better than I thought it was going to be. Now, we didn't catch quite enough for the feed the whole family, so we had to grab some fish from the store, which is something all fishermen do not want to have to admit to. But, hey, we had to be able to make sure everybody was fed. So, what I wound up doing was getting the, whatever that fish is, whether it's a green sunfish, goggle eye, whatever it's called. What I ended up doing was actually just making them, frying them whole. The fillets wasn't that much, so frying them whole, and that's what we're doing. Now, the batter, I accidentally added a little bit too much salt to it, but other than that, what I added to the batter is this Slap Your Mama, which is great. I feel like I'm actually cheating on Tony's because this is what I use, but I hadn't got Slap Your Mama in a long time, and the fish batter that I'm using is actually the Zatarain's New Orleans style fish fry, and so that's what I was using it to do. But these little bitty fillets, like this right here, this is actually one of the bass fillets that I saw. I actually was taste testing it without filming, but it's got a really good flavor. I just added way too much salt to it. The Slap Your Mama had enough salt in it. I shouldn't even added it to begin with, but these are really good. And a lot of the saltiness may come from some of the garlic salt I put in there also. So But other than that, this is a great tasting fish. I really recommend those Zeterins and Slap Your Mamas. It makes for some great seasoning, great breading. This is really good. But I'm hopefully some of these fillets or these whole fish will come out. Try those for you. But this right here is hitting on it. All right, to go along with some of these little bitty fish nuggets, what I like to do is I like to make my own little sauce. It's kind of a spin. It's kind of like adding a little bit of everything in order to do it. So here I'm gonna show you real quick how I make it. All right, what I like to do is normally I put Tony's. I put Tony's in it, but what I have right here is I went ahead and put some Slap Your Mamas in it. I put some ketchup in it, and now I also like to use Louisiana hot sauce. So I'm gonna add some of it. It probably just enough to get that good spice in it. All right, then I go back and I put some mustard. Now this is just some mustard that I found and picked up. I don't want mustard that's really overpowering, just enough to get the zest. I didn't get the juice out, but that's all right because it's all gonna mix in anyway. It will come out. All right, that's just about all that I use. Then I come and I use blue plate. Now I know there's a lot of different preferences, but this is actually going to help thicken it out and be a binder. So I put ever as much ketchup as I put in it, that's how much mayonnaise I put in it. Now this bottle should have been turned over a little bit sooner, but don't fault me for it. Then I come back on top of that and I put some sweet relish pickles. Now I like the sweetness combined with the heat. Don't overpower it. Maybe about that much. Then on top it off. Not only the zest of the mustard, but I like to add a little bit of lime juice. So I put that right, just a little bit. Now we're gonna mix it up, and that's gonna be delicious. All right, this is about the consistency you want. You don't want it too liquidy. You want it to be able to cling on to the fish and French fries that you're gonna eat. Then of course you're gonna have to taste it. But you don't have to add garlic, pepper, or any salt because the Slap Your Mamas or the the Tony's, it already has it in there. So it has plenty for me. But of course you want to season it to your own personal taste. But that right there, that's going to get it done. I eat it with the fish. I will actually put it on a sandwich and eat it just like that after I top it off with some with my coleslaw. You talking about fine. So we just got it prepped up. It's looking mighty fine. Looking mighty fine. Just take a look at this picture. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get some bites out of it, and this is going to be delicious. I'm gonna, of course, I gotta get the fish first. Get some with this delicious sauce on it. Look at that. Now that's going to be fine. This is probably, I believe this is going to be one of the small fillets I got off of one of those, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, this is very, very, going to be very good. Like I said, I should have dabbed it down a little bit on the salt, but I'm telling you, it is so good, especially with that sauce. Now, I also got some of these big old fillets, or not fillets, excuse me, whole fish that I need to be eating on, and I'm fixing to just make my belly very happy. So till I'll meet y'all again, let's get some meat in the freezer. All right, so I knew the other fish was good, and I knew the French fries was going to be good with the sauce. But one thing I did not quite expect is just how good this whole fish is. I mean, as you can tell, I can't put it down. I can't get enough of it. The tail is delicious, just like any fried fish. But the thing is, just this type of fish is extremely firm. It's a white meat, If you can tell right here, you can see exactly how flaky it is. This right here is, it is delicious. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is the first time I ever filleted, I fried whole fish myself. I removed the dorsal fin off the top, and I basically just done like you usually do on a whole fish. But I have got to say, I'm gonna start fishing for these fish a whole lot more just so I can eat them. These things are delicious. I think I might prefer these better than perch. Man, so yeah, this is quite a success. My son, he tore it up. The only thing he left was a little bit of fin and just a few in the bones. He tore it up too, and now I can understand exactly why he ate as much as he did. These little fish are good. Oh.